Welcome, one and all, to another stream. Thanks for joining. To be continuing with Pathfinder Kingmaker. So last week, you were with me, or if you've checked out the YouTube channel, you probably noticed um, pretty much near the end of leveling up a couple of the characters, I stopped. Apparently, I didn't. The stream stopped, and I didn't realize it had, so I apologize for that. Hopefully, that won't happen again. Uh, but we did continue on a little bit. What we continued with, and just one second, I'm going to start something. All right, just setting up a backup just in case drop stream happens again. So what we continued with after last week, after we leveled up our two new companions, Octavia and Regengar, we kept going for a little bit, and we didn't do a whole lot more. Did a little more exploring, and went and found the Temple of the Elk, which is something, if you remember, Jod testified a while ago. Well, not a while ago, near the beginning of last week's video, so like a couple hours before. He asked us to find this, and when we did, we found it was corrupted. There was these monsters in the area, basically primal versions of animals. So we fought a couple. We cleared the pool in the middle so that it was now a healing pool. We fought a really big bear treant, so basically a tree bear. When we beat the tree bear, he was attacking a person on the ground. Christian. Dressed all in white. He mentions he's a cleric of Sarenrae. So he actually agreed to join us, but he needs some time to recover. So hopefully he'll be okay soon. Actually, as I meant to tell you, basically, if you had gone here first, to the Temple of the Elf first, he would have joined you. But where we went, we did the sycamore tree first. Valerie there joined us. So, just something to keep in mind if you wanted a cleric. He's a good, neutral good cleric. And he's an Ecclesia Thurge, so he can't wear armor, but he abilities like a wizard. He's a decent character. So he's right here, laying in bed. There's Tristan. And here's Regengar and Octavia. So we didn't get their backstories at all last time, other than the fact that we know Regengar and slaves. So I thought we would start tonight by talking to them a bit. Then we'll do a little bit of exploring, and hopefully head on down and go up against the Stag Lord. First, let's track out this Tristan, who you haven't met yet. Well, don't worry about me. Jod says I'll be fine soon. Oh, so you don't actually get to do your whole conversation with him. So that's it for him. All right, well, we'll get the backstories for Regengar and what do you want? Have a little chat? All right. It's not like we have anything better to do. All right, so tell me about yourself. Was there to know? I was born. I'm alive. Haven't died yet. That enough for you? Yeah, he's a bit of a jerk. I like him. Chaotic evil. He's going to match really well with our team. Remember your childhood? He scowls. What a crap question. I was just a kid when they sold me. For that, I don't remember much. Smoky fires, stinky hides, always bumping along on a horse. I think I was born in one of the Kellid tribes of Numeria. There are many. Some survive on their own. Some give up their pride and serve the technically. I guess mine was one of the cowards if they sold their own kids. Okay. Remember my father's hands. Rough, scarred, white. So I guess I get this green skin from my mother. But I don't remember her. I think I remember playing with another half-orc child. Brother, maybe? For some reason they didn't sell him, just me. Father gave him his dagger to play with. Never gave it to me. I don't want to remember. Forget all this. I'm an orphan. Waves his hand right. I grew up a slave. That I remember well. So many things burned into my memory. Most of all, I remember her. My Octavia. Today we're almost the same age, but back when she was twice as young as me. Just a child. But a brave one. Cunning, bold, and beautiful. Beautiful girl in the world. Yeah, we'll see. I like her. She's pretty. What deity do you worship? Ha! I never had much help from the gods so far. But if you make me choose, I'd say Calestria. Who else could I worship? Savored Sing, the goddess of pleasure, fun, and revenge. Where'd you get your magical powers? What magical powers? The hell's you talking about? Oh, you mean this. He makes lightning run over his hands with a contented smile and snaps his fingers, smoking a shower of blinding sparks. I've had them since I was born. At least one thing I can thank my scum parents for. Maybe these powers are why they sold me into slavery. Think they were scared? Who knows? Damn them. At the Technic League, they drew my blood. The experiments, burned me with fire, tortured me with cold, electricity. They told me, you won't believe it. They told me I have blue dragon blood. Not bad, huh? I'm a dragon, you freaks. Come check my blood if you dare. Grinning, he strikes his palm with a fist. Another fountain of electric sparks shoot up. So yeah, he's got the dragon blood for the Magus Eldritch Scion, which is like a sorcerer Magus. Alright, so what do your tattoos mean? They're magical. They help me control my powers. The Technic League gave them to me. I had hoped that somewhere on my body there was at least one sign left by my tribe. But no. Guess they didn't care to bother. Hell with them. They better hope I don't never find them. If I ever meet my father, we'll even the score between us. So how do you manage to use both a sword and magic and not cut off your fingers? Being a magus. It's simple. I'm just that bloody good. Do you enjoy making people suffer? What do I care about suffering? I do what I want. If I step on someone's toes, then they shouldn't have put them in my way. Chasing someone down just to torture them? That's only entertainment for maniacs like the Technic League. Well, on second thought, for them, I would make an exception. I love to watch as I fry them nice and slow. But why do you ask? Do my methods shock you? He clenches his fists, buzzing with sparks and laughing loudly at his joke. Yeah, it's a pun. I like puns. You may not, but I like puns. Alright. Well, we're chaotic evil like him, so very amusing. You're right. If someone gets in your way, it's their own. That's what I say. It's too many freaks who don't understand. Just asking to be run through with a sword. Sometimes I'm casting a spell, looking at another fool thinking, you idiot, what the hell are you doing? You'd still be alive if you weren't standing there in my way. None of this had to happen. And bam, they're dead, and I have to clean some more. Thank you for your answers. Thanks don't fill the purse. I'm just kidding. Tell me about your life in New Mirror. You mean my life as a slave? I didn't see much, except for the slave barracks, the League's twisted laboratory. How'd you happen to become a slave? Well, you started telling me. I was sold by my own tribe when I was just a little brat. Clenches his teeth and spits on the ground, steps on it with his. So I grew up in the slave barracks. I was raised to be sold like a battle animal. They tried to break me, but they picked the wrong brat. No matter how much you beat this animal, he only gets angrier. Punches himself in the chest and snarls. Why did your masters teach you magic? Can't you guess? Because magic is in my blood. That's why they bought me. I wasn't raised as some lowly mop slave, but as a murder machine. I'd fetch quite a sum of gold. Might also ask if they knew I'd take the first opportunity to rip their own guts out, using everything they taught me. Huh, of course they did. That's the technically, they calculate risk. Octavia kept pretending to be simple-minded, so they wouldn't expect anything of her. But I made every effort. Well, they didn't teach me much. What is there to teach? It's not book magic, it's innate. They made me practice with my sword more, but I did my best in everything, and I'd studied all I could. They knew that they were raising an enemy. They thought they could keep me on a short leash, or sell me to someone with deep pockets, so I'd become someone else's problem. Well, who won in the end, huh? Who is free, and who will bear? Scene gesture in the northwestern direction, toward Numeria. What else did you see beyond your... What could I have seen? Well, when we ran, we went through Starfall. That's a fine city. Big, loud, things to see, things to steal. But I didn't have much chance to walk around. The very nest of the sodding technically. or on getting out alive. Okay. We met some barbarians. I asked them who might know what tribe I'm from, but they didn't know anything. I don't have any tribal. Actually, they were all right. Well, some of them. The Bloodpikes, for one, they're great. All the rivers are theirs. We sailed with them during one of our escapes, almost all the way Brevoy, and they didn't turn us in. But the White Scars got out. So after that, those guys are shit. They sold their pride to the Technic League. Oh, one more thing. One time, Octavia and I tried to escape and stumbled across a Numerian monster. I'll never forget it. A huge spider, the size of a house, made of metal, spitting fire, shooting deadly rays all around. That thing could probably tear even a dragon to pieces. Ruined our escape plans, too. Had to go back. Okay, this is a bit of a redundant question. Did you and Octavia ever try to escape? What do you think? Of course we tried. I stopped counting how many times. Jumped from windows, dug tunnels, choked out our guards, or seduced them. That happened too. But those dirtbags caught us every time. Every bloody time. My back is covered with whip scars. Lucky we were prized property. They spent too much gold on us to kill us. Anyone else would have been hung and forgotten. They kept trying to break us and recoup their expenses. I don't know whether I could have survived by sheer stubbornness, but if it weren't for Octavia, I probably couldn't have. I would have just given up and died. I had to pull my girl out of that meat grinder. She believed in me, and had enough hope for both of us. I lay there with my back slashed to pieces. She whispered to me about the where there was no slavery. Everyone could go where they want. Whatever they want. I'll be damned, but I thought she was just making this up to keep our hopes alive. Now it turns out to be true. All of it. Every last word. No chains, no slaves. Just live and be happy. So, is slavery legal in Numeria then? Sometimes yes, sometimes no. There are some laws against it, but even in Starfall, a third of the people live in bondage, and that's the capital. In regions where the Black Sovereign hand doesn't reach, they hold to tribal customs instead of laws. The barbarians don't keep slaves. Instead, they have thralls. Big, bloody difference. And on top of all that mess, there's the Technic League. Law and custom mean nothing to those slime balls. They just take whatever and whoever. All right. Thank you much for your answers. What kind of relationship do you have with Octavia? Well, my Octavia and I don't have a relationship. We have a life together. What do you mean? How do you mean? Back when we were children, we had taken as apprentices by a great spellmaster, Janusz. Maestro Janusz, called himself. Or Janus. Janusz? Janusz. He was our teacher. Well, he made Octavia read books and memorize spells. I have my own innate magic. He trained me a bit, taught me how to control my gifts so I wouldn't lose control and incinerate myself like a dumbass. Oh, teacher, we will meet again. There's one more test. But you were asking about my Octavia. We've been together all our lives. We learned everything together. How to weave magic, how to survive. As we grew older, we learned how to love. Without each other, we would never have gotten out of there. That's for sure. We would have given up and surrendered to death. But together, that's a very different story. Not the first time, not the 10th, but eventually. Okay, so we didn't talk to Octavia much yet. But if you talk to her, she'll even ask you to talk to him about calling my Octavia. Why do you call her yours? She doesn't seem to like that very much. My girl loves freedom so much, and even a slight chance of losing it frightens her. She is so smart. You really think she feels like I'm trying to make her mine? Like an apple stolen at a market? Me, who is skinned alive for trying to help her escape? She's afraid of the word my, because she doesn't understand the difference between my boots and my heart. But she will understand, sooner or later. Sounds vaguely threatening. So you can ask if they're faithful to each other. We're going to do that with Octavia. Thanks for the answers. Have to go. So long. You want to know anything else, just ask. Don't be shy. Don't go pale when I answer. Maybe you can handle a lot of burn, but I can't take any. Anyway, sorry, I got distracted. Octavia. Hello, she smiles at you flirtatiously. Got any good news? Okay, we're gonna have to jump to this one. I just have to ask, how do you manage to look so gorgeous, even when we're out in the middle of nowhere? Oh, so you've noticed. She smiles slyly. My appearance is the result of daily effort, and it's not easy. Do you know how much time it takes to create good makeup, or to mend a dress, even with the help of... So if someday you wake up early, an hour before dawn or so, you can actually check on me. You'll see how I prepare myself for a new day. So we could give her a compliment with chaotic good. We're not good. We are chaotic. Oh, Octavia, the flower of the stolen lands, you're as beautiful as you are dangerous. You strike down monsters with your spells. You strike down people with your beauty. You're a real sweet talker. I feel all flushed. Fans herself. Well, now, I'll have to pay even more attention to my looks. For now, I know for sure that there's someone who appreciates my effort. Could you tell me about your childhood, please? Too little. Some scraps of memories. No more than that. What exactly do you remember? Nothing special. Some images of a faraway past, that's all. I do remember wooden table legs. Paint of them was peeling off. And I was standing on my toes trying to peek at what was on the table. I remember the wild rose by the window. Kept me up at night, scratching the glass with its narrow branchlets. I do remember my mother's blue dress. It was a trifle battered, but smelled of lavender. I guess that's all. There's not much there, right? All those memories, it's like they're not mine at all. I recall some images, and I know I should feel something about them. I don't remember what exactly I should feel, so let them rot in a swamp with tassel rooms. She grins cheerfully. My life's good enough without them. Pretty easy going. What do you know about your parents? You're a half-elf, right? Am I? She examines herself, looking at herself for the first time. You know, I think you might be right. I am rather slim and tall, and I can see well in dim light. She raises her hands and touches her ears. Aha, they're a bit pointy. Yes, I'm definitely a half-elf. Let me think about that logically. So my mother was an elf, and my father was a human. Or maybe it was the other way around. And my mother was a... Finally, she can't take it anymore and bursts into laughter, having spoiled her own. So that's it. Now you know as much about my parents as I do. Do you remember how you were enslaved? I clearly remember the man who took me away from my home. He was big, with a huge pot, shaggy beard. I was afraid he would eat me. Anyway, he didn't stay with me long. He gave me to his slave accomplices, and I never saw him again. When my mother was giving me to him, she was crying. I can still barely hear her quiet voice, but I can't recall her words, or her face behind the tears. Just that lavender smell. It tickled my nose, and I wanted to sneeze. Did my mother sell me into slavery? Then why was she crying? And if she didn't want me to be a slave, why didn't she try to save me? She twirls her hair, pondering over the thought and sighs. One more riddle for my past that I don't care to solve. Must be horrible being unable to recall your childhood. Well, I recall my childhood. Right details. I was spent in dirty barracks. I wore flea-infested rags and slept on straw mattresses instead of a... She smiles humorously, though I understand it. You know, to be honest, I'm not sure I want to remember my childhood before slavery. If I could remember what I lost, it would be more pain. She shakes her head several times and makes herself smile again. So it's good that I don't remember much of anything. Alright, I want to ask you about something else. Of course, what you want to talk about. Please tell me about your life in slavery. I don't like to recall it, but if you insist, she frowns. The slavers from the Technic League tried to ruin my life, but all they could do was ruin my child. How did you happen to find yourself in the Stolen Lands? My enslavers from the Technic League funded a large expedition into the Stolen Lands. 100 agents, tens of slaves, wagons. We were to search for some ancient artifacts or ancient ruins. She shrugs. Our group never made it to the Technic League hideout. Along the way, it was attacked by the future owner of the stolen lands himself, and I'll be forever grateful to him for it. She winks cheerfully. Did you have many masters over the years? Yes, many of them. Some owned me for years. Others felt that they'd had enough of me in a couple of months. Trust me, I did all I could to make my masters eager to get rid of me. A slave that's trained in magic is a rather expensive thing, so they wouldn't kill me, or at least that was the hope. So I drooled and played an idiot, and I listened at every new master and argued with my foreman, trying to return me. Sometimes I punctured the pages of magic books I was forced to copy with a quill. Other times I pretended to mix up the spells, so instead of lighting a magic torch, I sent dozens of dancing lights floating just below the ceiling. Of course, most of the tricks of mine usually ended badly. I got punished on a regular basis. Back still remembers the master's whips, though all of my scars are from those times are long gone. So where did you learn magic? Oh, I taught myself. I was taught magic by Janusz of Starfall, one of the most famous wizards in Numeria. Maestro Janusz, as he insisted on calling himself. Her voice overflows with contemptuous sarcasm. Anyone would be happy to learn from such a great master, and only a talentless bitch like me would care to reject his teachings and indulge her laziness. At least that's what Maestro Janusz used to repeat constantly, while whipping knowledge into my back. The great Maestro was a big fan of punishment. Her lips pressed into a thin line. Technically didn't care if a few slaves died under the master's whip, as long as Maestro Janusz provided an arcane trained one. Officially, there's no slavery in Numeria, but the Technic League is above any law. A slave with an aptitude for the arcane is worth much more than a regular one. Slaves' repertoire is limited to the simplest and safest spells, of course. You ever tried to run away? What a silly question. Of course I tried. As soon as we saw even the tiniest opportunity to get free, Reg and I grabbed for it. On one occasion, we jumped from the cart into the river. There was a time when we spent weeks trying to dismantle the far wall of the barracks and make a path out. Sometimes we attacked our guards when they least expected it. We craved freedom. We lived only to dream about it. Those short days, sometimes weeks that we spent on the run, were the happiest days of my life. We used to hide in the woods or blend in with the crowd on the streets of Starfall. Midnight stars were our guiding lights, and we shared our dream with them to reach the river kingdoms, for in these lands there were neither slaves nor masters. We were starving and freezing, and that was the real life. Too bad it usually ended too soon. The Technic League agents always found us in the end. I don't know how they managed to do it. They probably used magic, or maybe it was just our fate. They whipped us and returned us to our old masters, or sold us to new ones. The old ones refused to pay. So we were slaves again, but the dream about the River Kingdom never left us. Your masters ever hurt you? Should have got this answer. You figured that out, didn't you? Narrows her eyes. You want to hear all the beatings I received? The humiliations I endured? Imagine the worst thing one could do to another and multiply it tenfold. That's what happened to me nearly every slave. Masters. Oh, how I hate that word. Shakes her head furiously, making her box dance. They punished me because they wanted to hurt me. And what hurt even more was the mere fact of their existence. Okay. Let's talk about something else. Oh. She stops us and gently touches our hand. Wait, I want to tell you. She sighs and shakes her head as if trying to collect her thoughts. The Technic League agents you rescued us from. Reg and I tried to run away many times. They always managed to find us eventually. I have no reason to hope that this time they've lost our tracks for good. So I won't let anyone harm those who are dear to me. Whatever happens, you can count on me. Chaotic good, I won't let those filthy slave traders take you again. Just let them try. Awful neutral, well, you're with us now. I'm confident that I should be able to make a deal with them. Awful evil, I never throw away valuable resources. They won't get me. I'm actually going to go chaotic good, because even though we're not good, I think that works for a chaotic evil character too. I won't let those filthy slave traders take you again. Just let them try. Like we're itching for a fight. Yes, we'll chase them to the border. We won't see them through. Suddenly she frowns in contemplation, whirling her locks. Still, I'd like to find them first. You worship Callistra, right? Oh, wait, we skipped one. Okay, we'll come back to relationship. We'll do that one. You worship Callistra, right? Yes, many slaves survived only thanks to their faith. Some lived hoping for a day when a good deity would deliver them. Some even offered deals to the evil gods. But me and Reg, Callistra has taught us the most important thing. Expect no gifts from above. Rely only on ourselves. Never forgive those who wrong us. But at the same time, savor every droplet of pleasure we can squeeze from our bleak days. It's amazing how, after all the hardships, she still remains so cheerful and optimistic. Her smile fades a little. Not to view my life as a never-ending course of suffering. Yes, I've had my share of hard times, but do I need to recall them? After all, I've had good things as well. I had a dream, and I followed it, and eventually it came true. Following that path, I met Reg, and you. Now I'm free, surrounded by. Voice trembles with hidden emotions, but her smile remains warm and sincere. Yet you can totally go away. Why do you need to find the Technic League agents? I broke free from slavery. Thanks to you, I've obtained everything I dreamed of. My freedom, the opportunity to control my own life. I want to use this opportunity to fight the Technic League. At least the part of it that operates here in the Stolen Lands. I wish to free all the slaves of their Technic League masters. She gives you a warm smile and gently touches your hand. I do believe that while we're together, we can achieve a lot. Alright, so what kind of relationship do you have with Reg? Shrugs awkwardly, we're together. Well, you said we're together sounds unconvincing. Is something wrong? You've noticed. Well, I didn't mean that. Now I'll have to explain. She shakes her head. Not sure how to put it correctly. You see, Reg seems to treat me like his property. He's always kind to me, and it feels good when we travel together, or when we share a blanket at the campsite. But he always calls me my Octavia. I've told him over and over that I don't belong to anyone, that I'm my own, and that I stay with him by my own free will. He only grins when I say that. Bet he likes to think that I'm his. I'll sort it out, son. She shakes her head, making the troubling thoughts go away. So how did you meet Reg? Years ago, when I was studying magic with Master Josh, Reg was his student too, though you couldn't actually say he was really studying anything. Reg has his own way, so he never needed the Maestro's instructions. You see, unlike wizards, Reg draws his power directly from his innate bloodline. Jonas didn't realize the nature of Reg's powers when he took the young boy as his new student. When he finally understood them, he just taught the negligent half-orc to control his powers, to avoid harming himself or the others. Reg and I have been together ever since. We could both use magic, but more importantly, we both craved freedom. We used to vow to each other, someday we'd break free from their unbearable captivity, or die trying, together. She gives you a warm smile. I guess it's good that we fulfilled only the first part. I guess you owe him a lot. She winces. I don't like this "owe" word. I don't owe anything to anybody. Everything I do of my own free will. But to answer your question, yes, Reg has done a lot for me. Can't count how many times he was whipped by my masters because of me. How many times he took the blame for my doings. He never complained when they dragged him, beaten, and covered in blood to the slave bear. He just groaned and clenched his fists while I bandaged his wounds with the scraps of my filthy scraps. We've always been together, my whole life as slaves and as free people. I wouldn't be me if not for him. So the fact that Reg is so impulsive doesn't bother you? Ah, that. That is a very delicate matter. She winces, looking away. Reg means a lot to me, and he endured a lot from me. Some parts of him just scare me. He's become extremely bloodthirsty when it comes to slavers. Don't get me wrong, I hate slavers with all my heart, and I do a lot to cleanse the world of their filth. But Reg, he'd do anything. Understand? Absolutely anything. I'm afraid that anger might kill everything good in me. I've attempted to talk to him about it many times. But he just won't listen. He becomes even angrier after our conversation. All right, let's change the subject. Of course, what do you want to talk about? Huh. All right, we'll talk later. Sure, she gives you a friendly smile. Anytime. Thought you could start a relationship with her, but maybe not yet. Our snake hanging out in the corner. Snake is really tiny. Hard to see. Okay, so we found one of the things we did last week. I can't remember if it got caught on video or not. Is we found Svetlana's wedding ring. Kestrel, the bandit who attacked here right at the beginning when we first came to Oleg's, she had it. She greets you warmly. Good day to you. Do you need anything? I'd be happy to help. Found your ring, Svetlana. Kressel, the bandit woman who tried to kill me and died in the fight. Svetlana sighs bitterly. I suppose I could tell you the truth about her. Kressel wasn't her real name. Her real name. Before all this, she was the daughter of my mother and her second husband, my half-sister. I can't help but feel like everything that happened to her was my fault. She always had a wildness to her. She'd wander the streets, hanging out with a bad crowd. Till the day she passed, Mother complained about Ariana constantly. Back then, it was just cruel games and strange escapades. She never really hurt anyone back in Restov. Her father didn't live much longer than our mother, so I decided to try and help Ariana out. I brought her here to the Stolen Lands, though Oleg was against it. And once here, she immediately fell under the Stag Lord's influence. She never even needed to meet him. The stories and rumors from local hunters and bandits were enough to win her over. She would tell us how he was a real leader, unlike Restov's softies. Eventually, she ran away, only to return under a new name with a pack of thugs to collect tax. What's worse, she participated in the torture and execution of prisoners alongside the Stag Lord's minions. And now, meeting such an end, I realize you did what you had to. Perhaps that's all for the best, but still, I wonder if everything could have turned out differently. She lifts her head. Thank you for returning my ring to me. I truly appreciate it. Now, if you don't mind, I think I'd like to be alone. And she gave us 10 camping slots, so we don't need to get any. So yeah, the only way, I think you have to be good. It doesn't matter if you're lawful or chaotic, but as long as you're good, you can actually spare or Crystal. And that conversation goes to. But you have to be good. Right. Now, we found the Temple of the Oak, was the other thing I mentioned, so we'll talk to Jod, and that'll be our last person. Then we're going to go out and get. We've spent half an hour doing this, that's long enough.
How may I serve you?
Help of a cleric is, what was it? Yeah, I thought that.
How may I serve you?
Service job. I can sell you various divine spell scrolls. They're quite useful, even if you don't have anyone in your party who can read them. While you're in this settlement, or indeed any place with a cleric willing to help, you need only open a bag and choose the scroll you wish to cast. I'd be happy to read it for you. However, take care out there in the wilderness. That scroll is useless without someone who can read it. To use the scroll in your journeys, you need a spellcaster whose magical training covers such spells, or someone skilled in magical devices. So either the skill use magic device can do it, so like Lindsay has that, or if you're a divine spellcaster, you can cast use a divine spell, or arcane spellcaster, you can cast any arcane spell. It has to be on your spell list to cast it. There's only a skill check if you can't cast a spell. That's different in Pathfinder than 5th edition D&D, but it's the same as like 3.5. Alright, tell me about yourself, John.
What exactly would you like to know?
Tell me about your past.
My story? Why not? You deserve to know it. I am a priest of Erastil, and Galt is my homeland. You can imagine what it's like following the teachings of the Stag God in a realm torn by discord and strife. Rebellion and suspicion are the pillars of Galt, Led by Erastil, I tried to guide my flock to embrace tranquility and balance and guard them from hasty judgment, until I fell from grace myself. Foolish, foolish old Jod. My misdeeds cast a shadow over my life and service. In search of redemption and a balm for my soul, I took to the road. I had come nearly to despair when Erastil sent me a vision of the Temple of the Elk. I knew that very moment that the Stag God had shown me the way to redemption.
What'd you do to anger Arresto?
Well, if you truly wish to know, I'll have to start from the long time back. Werewolves preyed upon the lands around my village. They murdered people for fun or sport and left the corpses to rot on the roads. One night, they broke into a young woman's house and dragged her into the streets. One led by Providence, I left to gather my flock, and we surrounded the tavern. The retribution was swift. However, I was tragically mistaken. The young man was no werewolf. He was a bandit, sent to spy on the village by one of the local gangs. We only found out after, when we went through his things.
So I skipped something there. Oops. So one evening a traveler came to our tavern, tattered and dirty from days on the road, like so many others roaming Gaul. He sat quietly in the corner of the tavern, drinking sheep ale, and in an instant I knew he was a werewolf. I felt it in my soul. It was like Erastil himself had whispered it into my ear. He smiles, but his eyes are as dead as stones. So yeah, he thought this guy was a werewolf, but he turned out to be a bandit. So, in our chaotic way, still, you saved the village from another danger, didn't you?
That's still no excuse for my actions. I was a fool. I made a grave mistake. And what's worse, in the eyes of my flock, I cast doubt on Erastil's greatness. A priest who can barely hear the voice of his god is a disgrace to his lord and himself, and corrupts the very people he would save.
Yet it is a well-known fact that very few priests in Pathfinder directly hear their god. He's a little harsh on it.
Whatever the case, I knew Erastil was no longer pleased with me. It was terrifying.
His voice wavers. Even now, one can glimpse inside him the remnants of the horror.
Imagine how my mind raced when here in the stolen lands I heard the voice of the Stag God once again. He gave me another chance at service to atone for my guilt. Now I have regained hope, and that very hope is my most precious possession.
So what can you tell me about your homeland, Galt?
For some, it is a land of freedom, where power belongs to the people, not to lords or kings. For others, it's a land of never-ending revolution, a realm surrendered to anarchy. It depends on who you ask. For me, I found Galt a violent place. Crowds eager to lynch a stranger for that accent or appearance, where a single word uttered at the wrong time or place can spark the people to riot and cities to burn.
Oh, sounds like my kind of place.
For me, it is a place inhabited by the frightened and the desperate, always suspicious, watchful of trickery. All too often they are deaf to the voice of reason. They cannot grasp that chaos and lawlessness lead only to yet more chaos and lawlessness. All my life I've tried to break through to these poor people, but alas, I don't seem to have made much progress.
He's visibly upset and grows silent. All right, that's enough.
As you wish.
Only about Erastil.
Of course. It would be my pleasure. Erastil is one of the eldest gods of Golarion. His faith emerged when the first people appeared upon the land. Erastil helped our ancestors cultivate the land and hunt. Even now, his blessing lies with those who uphold the old traditions and keep to simpler ways, far from civilization and the noise of the city.
Wait a minute. Cities have their strengths as well, don't they? Civilization fosters science, trade, and invention. and in that it often improves life for us all.
Tell that to the peasant robbed of all he owns, spending his night in the gutter, hoping to live to see the sunrise. You won't see such things in a village.
In real life, yeah, you sort of do. Maybe not as often, but it does happen, unfortunately. All right, I don't share your opinion. My future capital will be no village, whether you like it or not. One day, I will rival Absalom itself.
As you wish. Still, lend your ear to this old man's words. Don't brush away the wisdom of ages past. I came here to spread the kindness of simple village life, which is often lost and forgotten in the noise of an indifferent city.
All right, so what does Erastil demand of his faith?
The word demand does not befit the Stag God. Honesty and friendship, loving families, merry weddings, and newborn children in their mother's arms, they bring a smile to Erastil's face. He loves his people and rewards them with fortunate hunts and plentiful harvests. But he has no temper for sloth and vanity. He never bestows gifts upon his faithful without first measuring their worthiness. We ourselves must win our daily bread, but the Stag God comes to our aid in times of need and strife.
Always have respect for Erastil and his priest? Not so much with this character. Lawful good god? Chaotic evil character? Not so much. I long felt that Erastil was a worthless god, and now you've made me even more certain. Each his own. Yeah, I've often felt Erastil was a worthless god. Now you've made me even more certain.
Alas, I must truly be an inept servant, for I have failed once more to convey the wisdom of Erastil. I only hope that someday in the future you will allow me the chance to change your mind.
Alright, to each his own. I want to ask you something else.
I am happy to help.
What about the visions that led you to the temple?
That's why I'm here.
Yeah. Okay, I found the Temple of the Elk and killed the beast.
Erastil be praised, you finally returned, my good friend. Tristan told me how you helped him at the Temple of the Elk. Thank you for heeding my request. My heart is calm and filled with confidence that I've followed the will of my God. I would like to reward your bravery. I possess no treasure, but please take this as a token of appreciation.
Scrolls of remove blindness are not bad. So do you understand the true meanings of your visions now?
I trust in their truth. These visions, they were the voice of Erastil himself, quiet but clear. Before all this happened, I believed Erastil had turned his back to me. But now, I see clearly. He has shown me divine mercy, for he has led me to you and invited me to aid in a fellow priest's deliverance. Lady Sarenrae and Erastil walk the paths of the gods hand in hand, and so must their servants as well.
Okay.
Tristan is undoubtedly still very young, and youth is a time of naivete and confusion. But I see kindness and strength of spirit in him, traits indispensable to a priest. I sense that all that's transpired thus far is only the beginning, and the future promises great things for Tristan and for you. This is why Erastil led me to the Temple of the Elk. Day and night I pray for you and for my young friend. May the Stag God lead you down the true path.
Alright, that's enough of this.
As you wish.
Thanks to the story, we'll speak more later. Farewell. Alright. Too bold. Don't need this, it turns out. Oh, wait. That or Tristan. So that's Tristan's too. That we don't need. Alright, that's it. Yeah, Tristan also can use scimitar, so he's not a frontline fighter. And he doesn't wear armor, so braces him around. I guess we'll leave Lindsay back for now. Probably won't change. I don't know who to switch out for yet. Okay, let's see. What have we not done on this map? The Boggart Hunting Grounds, which we're going to do after the Stag, because it's tough. Same thing, Ratnook Hill. Let's do the Riverine Rise. I'll go this way. I'm going to try and hook this up as we... I have a thing about completing the map. Like to do that. This. Map complete. After this, we'll head to the Stag Lord. Excited. Excited I is. We're gonna die. Not here. Against the Stag Lord.
Will this ever end?
Hope we won't die. That would suck, because I'm pretty sure I know this area. If I die in this one, oof. Hunt the rabbit. Don't hunt. We only hunt when we need rations. Actually, this might not be the place I thought it was. Oh, it's not. This is actually, yeah, okay, this is a different spot.
Unworthy.
Still shouldn't die. It's one water elemental. Oh, seriously? Okay, see if we can charge. Just out of my way. There. 5 damage for this. Ooh. 7 damage. Alright. Cast a spell. This spell combat's not. Oh yeah, no it is. Okay, good. Okay.
I'll cut you.
He should have moved first, then done it, but that's what glitched out. Oops. Ah, he'll hit next turn.
Consider provoked.
Not gonna bother
Tear them apart.
raging for this. That might be a mistake. Okay. You're breaking it back. That's useless. Okay. Remember. And I'm gonna see if we can charge. Not straight line. Alright. Go up behind me. Okay, this has not gone the way I hoped.
Wretched things.
Missed.
This can't be over.
Ooh! Took down Jathal. Maybe I should have took this more seriously. Alright, so we still have our shocking grasp. I think I can do this without it. Swift action, not a free one. Boost our accuracy. Sure we hit. We still missed. And only works one. Okay, use a spell. Wow. That sucked. Rage. We go 17. Bless everybody. We need the help. 7 damage. Reduced. Better. Oh, he hit us. There we go. Finally hit with the tracking grasp. spend it. Okay, snowball. There we go. Oh, immune to sneak attack. Got that.
Repent. I don't like you.
Ow. Okay. Keep doing electrical.
Share your will.
Yeah, heal.
Tashani Savitu. Tashani Savitu. Tashani Savitu.
The end draws near.
Magritium Turinos. Magritium Turinos. Pashan Savitur.
Heal
Follow
up,
me
J-Pal.
or don't.
Should say follow me or else. That would be much more evil. I'm going to rest. Which means I probably didn't need to waste time just doing those spells. Actually, you know what? We're not going to rest because we're not tired. We might as well get closer to the Stag Lord. Stag Lord's area is a funny area. It's sort of the same. Oh, yeah, there was stuff up there. Forgot. I think that's it.
Much longer?
It's sort of like a whole area is a dungeon, so you can't like hunt to heal there. You need to bring rations. So we're not gonna rest in there until we have to. We're also going to be very careful. Actually, maybe we should have probably just hold spells. At least hideous laughter. So be really careful about not raising the alarm. But no saves coming in this, not in this playthrough. So we may raise the alarm, and if it happens, it happens. Oh, she's tired.
Need to catch my breath.
There's the Stag Lord's fort. That's where we're heading.
March, march. All I do is march.
I do avoid. Evade. We'll go this way first. Oh, we hit the fog. Fog that just turns us backwards. I thought I could get there from there. We're tired. Hopefully this isn't too bad in here. I think I know what's in this area.
I'm hungry. When we stop?
Oh, she's exhausted. Nothing I can do about that. I can remove our own fatigue, though. We are no longer fatigued. Yeah.
Not that I care.
She's not a frontliner, so she should be okay. Unless
You
she's
cannot
exhausted.
stand against me.
Yeah, it's a leopard. Sure, leopard. Rage. We're not fatigued, so we can charge. Ooh, 9 damage, not bad. Try a scorching ring. There we go, 16 damage with sneak. Use a frigid touch on this one. Couldn't use a frigid touch with that. Water elemental would have been still.
Despicable.
Ow, 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 ow. They get a lot of attacks. Person. Can I reach with a healing spell? Nope. A little bit of damage. Not probably enough.
Bring it!
Oh, 21 damage. I have some this now. Damage reduction. That's what I'm trying to get the word. In order to cast reduce person on us, it gives us a better chance to hit and harder chance for them to hit us. Oh, nice. Plus 17. Oh, what did we do to him? Stagger. Cool. Oh, wrong button. Skip the turn.
Advance.
Or end the turn. 17. Oh, staggered only gets one attack. Nice.
Your life ebbs low.
Tear them apart!
Oh, we got him.
When we stop.
Yeah, normally resist reduce person isn't great, but when you have weapon finesse, it increases your chance to hit. It reduces your damage because of your strength, but our weapon isn't based on damage, on strength, so. And you get a bonus to your AC. Well. It does slow us down. Leopard skin. 12 gold.
Will this ever end?
Looks like he ate a kobold. With a composite short bow +1. Who Octavia will probably will still use spells a lot, but when she does want to just shoot in there. Are times when spellcasting doesn't finish. Especially later on. By which time she should have a better so I always like to be prepared. She's exhausted, so we'll probably rest before moving. Scorch fragment of a necklace. You should have enough to do that soon. It's a really good necklace for sneak attackers, but not good for anybody who's front. We'll camp, and we will hunt. Everybody has jobs assigned, so I don't like that -1 to stealth. Nice 10. 2 +1. It's not much, but it's something. +1. +10. And this intimidating posture. Most who are entities who are weaker than Rengar will avoid facing him and won't attack. Well, let's try this.
You know, I think I understand why Torag rejected you. Even the gods can't stand your constant whining. You're completely right. Torag is deaf to the troubles of his followers. That is why I rejected him. Think, would you pray to Callistria if it was her fault you couldn't do anything in bed, like I can't do anything in the smithy?
Oh my, they're funny. So the other funny part about that, though, is that took us over a day. It took us 1 day and 2 hours to hunt for 6 rations. Not a great spot for hunting. So you can lose a lot of time if you rest too much. Great. Blackwheel suddenly awoke inside the house. Dogs were howling fiercely not far away. It smells like burning, and wooden walls were steaming hot. Smoke was writhing beneath the ceiling. So last time we looked out the window... No, we jumped out the window. Let's try opening the door. Pushed the door with his shoulder, but it wouldn't budge. The flames were starting to crawl up the walls. Bakugo grew short of breath, and he sat down heavily on the floor. His skin felt cold. He heard the murmur of water, soft lapping of waves. Opened his eyes and saw a rocky river bottom and a bloated body tangling in green watered weeds. The drowned man's empty gaze was fixed upon Bakugo. The drowned man's mouth opened slowly, and a hoarse whisper said, "Strike river." At this moment, Bakugo finally awoke, drenched in sweat. He told us what he'd seen in the dream. So I removed my fatigue, but I still hit the exhaustion. Oh, I was hoping it would avoid both. Bakugo's carrying too much weight.
Now what?
Take off his heavy armor. You saved Octavia and her friend Regengar from the greedy clutches of those Technic League adepts, which was one hell of a fight, I might add. The young lady wizard joined us to show her gratitude and to help us bring happiness and freedom to the Stolen Lands. She's the sister in arms I've always dreamed. Yeah. Well, yeah, that sort of sucks. I have to go back to see Nettle again. It's because we killed Nettle instead of hearing him out. I knew that was going to be a bad idea. I was hoping this would happen faster. Anyway. So, do you want to enter? Yes, enter the location. Oh. Evening, but it's not dark. Go see this undead again. Davik Nettle, the bloated face of the drowned man yawns open at you. You feel once more faint, and the invisible wet hands fall upon your brow again. Greetings, Bakugo. So last time we just asked him, was it you sent me the nightmares, and we attacked. So who are you? Davik Nettle. Storm of bright images flashes before your eyes. A long time ago, this person, then a living man, came here from Brevoy, constructed a rope bridge, built a house, and lived in it, collecting payment from those who crossed the river. How did you die? A vision of a lovely spring day. Sunbeams shine warm against your cheeks. 3 men approached the house by the bridge, one of them wearing an antlered helm. Stag. Angry faces, a quarrel, the glint of an unsheathed sword. Suddenly, the stag lord's greedy eyes are twisted by surprise. The master of the house has unleashed his hounds. The burning smell stirs you awake to the sound of loud barking. Flames are calling up the walls. Sound of breaking glass. The bitter cold night air. You are outside the house, and something is wrong. An arrow strikes deep in your shoulder. You hear the gofle of 10 throats. You run. Already in the middle of the bridge, man in the antler helm cuts one of the ropes. An ear-splitting scream fills the air. Seems like the Stag Lord killed him, or having probably not want him to give up part of his money for coal from the bridge. I killed you already. How did you survive? Drowning grins the lips. Kinetic neutral attack. Killing you may be pointless, but I'll do it again anyway, just for fun. That's sort of funny. What do you want from me? See a vision of a man wearing an antlered helm. Hear a muffled groan, and the helm drops to the ground with a loud thud. Your hands are covered with hot blood. Too much blood. Yeah. Stag. Why must I be the one who does it? Can't you kill the Stag Lord yourself? See the Stag Lord and his cutthroats trying to build a new bridge here, then running madly away from the rotting monster. Stag Lord has avoided this place ever since. Why must I be the one who does it? Feel invisible fingers, cold as stone, drawn inside a wet strand of hair. Basically, because I'm the one you can contact. I refuse to help you on principle. No, I don't care. Very well, I should met your vengeance on Stag. Sitting and motionless, nods his head. Come later. Take the spear. Well, at least we won't be doing it for free. I would help him even if he wasn't going to pay. He has such a hard life. Well, a hard undead. That must be even harder. You're always helping scum like this for free, as if our own lives are easy. See, I'm surprised they're together. They don't exactly get along, but I. So, in the paper adventure app, as I give a little introspective on changes, Davik Neville, this quest exists, but you actually have to bring the Stag Lord's body to this river. So, I didn't like that. So, for my group, I just had them bring it to the lake, which is right next to the fort, and say Davik could travel through the water to come get it. Because it's like they were going to drag the body all the way back here just to get a spear, when honestly none of them even use spears. I could have given them a different weapon, but I had already given them really good weapons at that point. Except for the Warlock. Yeah. So yeah. Anyway. We're exhausted. 6 penalty to strength and dex. I really would like to get rid of it. We're gonna walk down to the Stag Lord. Probably everybody else will be tired by then, and we rest before going in. Better not get in this way. The long years spent in slavery have given him quite a temper. Swords blow or a deadly spell. 13 hours. So yeah, other people will probably be tired by then.
I need to catch my breath.
Oh. On the other side of the river. Didn't remember that. Okay, before I enter, I feel like I just found somewhere. Huh. We'll probably rest, and let's do these couple little areas first. Nothing if not a completionist. We have enough for 2 rests in his place. Might end up being so good. I'm thinking.
Does anyone else want tea? It's growing quite chilly this evening.
No, thank you. I am quite content with the cold and the darkness.
Oh my. Okay, so we got a nice meal, but Mike can watch out. Might give us some trickery a little bit. I don't know. Not sure what to do on that one yet. So let's enter the old Mesa. No, but I don't want to become famous. It's not going to pay to do it. Ooh, I know where we are. Okay, I'm gonna say it. Not gonna be an easy fight. Yeah, a werewolf.
Does it matter?
Which has damage reduction.
They go down!
8. Not great. Okay, we're definitely gonna up our hit chance. Find favor. Get over here. Add some damage reduction. 15 damage on a crit. Nasty. Frigid Touch. Oh, it hit. Nice. So his Sword Strike did nothing, but 14 damage from the cold damage. That's nice. Up everybody's chance to hit this guy. And get him closer to do something next round. Alright. So yeah, this is a case where the bow would be useless. But that was my help. Ooh, missed. Oh man, how... Back. Yeah, I thought so. She doesn't have precise shot yet. She needs that. She's getting a -4. So even with a touch attack, just wasn't adding up to 4 of 9. She needs precise shot soon. Thought that might be.
This is for you.
1. How in the world do I do a 1? Yeah, see, he has a damage reduction of 10. Really hard to do major damage to this guy. Okay. Let's inflict some big wounds. 12 damage, nice. Okay.
Out of my way!
4. Not bad. Based on that damage reduction. Oh, and I think I staggered him. Yeah, I'm not sure which one of us did, but he staggered. Oh, nice, he missed. Electrical damage. Oh! He hit me back and made my spell fail. What? Combat cost? I thought he had combat cost. He has combat casting. He's got to get better at that. Okay, what do I need to boost to get that better at that? DC of 15, and he rolled a 14. See, a roll of 3. He only needed to roll a 4. So yeah, he actually... That's a pretty rare thing. It's like that. Sorry, I'll still get the hit,
For me.
but do no damage. Great. Can't hold a person because he's not a person. Heal everybody. I'm pretty sure that healed. Bone shake him. 8 damage. He almost got him. Let's try another snowball. Missed again.
Bring it.
Ooh, 6. That's better.
Unworthy.
5. Yeah, we done it. Yeah, it wasn't easy. Knew that'd be a tough fight. Regular blessed pay. A ruby with 750 gold, and a potion of invisibility. So that's pretty nice stuff. Not much of anything other than a potion of reduced person. Which we just saw it works really well on me, so I might start using that. Gold and a potion of vanish. Helps us sneak. Not a bad thing either. So we used a few resources, but not too bad. That fight actually overall went pretty good in my opinion. So we can go for the Stag. 13 hours. Or yeah, I gotta do it. We'll do rest one more time for Dinglin's Dead Lord. Just finishing the map there. Sometimes I've done this stuff after fighting the Stag Lord, but we've got some time. Well, maybe not a ton of time. Based on, I am doing my Among Us stream tonight as well. Welcome to join. But that's in, so I'm only doing another hour and a half of this game. Wow, they're big. Direwolves? Oh, this is a silence pack. Let's turn off. Actually, I don't. Six? What kind of sneak attack damage did I roll there? Great. 2d6. 2d4. I did the same with 2d4 as I did with 2d6. Oh, not bad.
What a waste.
Wretched things.
These guys are tough. I think they are dire wolves. I'm not using up stuff yet.
Fear me.
I have quite a few. A lot of wolves in this pack.
I'll fight if I have to.
Nice.
Become as dust.
Oops. I did this one. Ooh. Should she stand? She's going to get 2 attacks if she stands. Let's delay. At least after these guys and see if he went for him. And
They go down!
almost gone. Huh?
Smear them.
Only 1 attack. Yeah, miss. Awesome.
Advance!
Whew.
Patience.
Were they a little bit? Oh, feeling fully nice. Yeah, that's pretty good. Couple spells were pretty much back on top. Pretty sure there's a few wolves in this pack.
I'm not afraid.
Yep. There's 3 more I can see. Nice. I hate tripping. Ooh.
Repent.
Can't reach.
Die for me. I'll split you in half.
20 damage, nice. 2 of them will get up. Ah. This. Yep, hit her too. Oh, 27 damage, nice.
Unworthy.
And up. Missed.
Wretched things.
Your life ebbs low. Bleed for me. Out of my way!
I killed the one.
Like you!
Otherwise, they're both gonna get back.
Bring it!
You can't stop me.
There we go. Else. T-Falls down again. Down in health.
Request. Tashani Savitur. You have
Oh.
my attention. Tashani Savitur.
Ooh, what's that? Stuff to sell.
Not that I care.
So we're saving before going in here. Octavian. Who is it? Miri. Over here.
Face me if you dare.
Despicable.
Ooh, 33 damage. Nice.
Samir.
We got rid of that one. Bless us.
Consider me provoked.
Big damage. 8. Charge. Miri got knocked down. This is why having a dog or a wolf as your animal companion is so good. Constant tripping. Wish I kept that Snorcher. I didn't expect it to do so much damage. For a second, create another one. Next fist.
Time for fun.
8 damage. Shoot the same one again.
What a waste.
Unworthy. Tear them apart!
Ooh! How much damage did this do? 30 damage. 2d8 plus 7 times 2 was 15. Yeah, that was nice. That was a nice hit.
Fear me. Out of my way. Follow me. Or don't.
It's going easier in here than it did outside. Now, here the problem is, this is their actual pack.
This body holds no more.
Ooh, He
This
is
can't be over.
he's almost down. Wolf from Silence Pack, see? But Silence Wolfling.
They go down.
There's baby wolves here. Now, how do I do this? I want to hit him with this. Who am I going to hit? Oh, I'm going to hit a couple of them. Go from a different angle. We're here. Give him a color spray. I'm going to hit Miri. That I can help. Hold my Miri. She resisted. One wolfling succeeded. So I hit basically 2 of them. Knocked him unconscious. That's good.
I don't like you. Become as dust.
Gotta figure out the best way to go about this. An arcane weapon enhancement.
I'll cut you.
Fair chance of hitting then. And a slightly more. Basically, he adds another +1 to his sword. That. Oh, can they get up? Nope. Okay. Mary, we'll sling. Stop giving it to everybody else. That might still last till the end of the turn. That one?
I'll fight if I have to.
Missed. Down? Yeah. When you kill a wolfling, silent drop. I like to heal her, but I just don't think it's worth it.
Repent.
Alright. Quickly do a mirror image.
Die for me.
Somebody got knocked down. Who's he attacking? Me. Me.
Bring it.
Huh. Oh, no, no one do that. Deuce. Bakuyo. Alright.
I'll split you in half.
9 damage.
Out of the way.
Took 15, so it was worth it.
Your life ebbs low.
Miss. Oh, that was a hit. Knock somebody down. That was me again. Everybody's ganging up on Harem. Alright. I'm gonna stand up. Yeah, take 1 damage. That was a pop. You're dead. Alright,
You can't stop me.
3 damage. Surprised that one. Oh yeah, he's down, so he's completely surrounded. He's gonna go a little later. At least see if this guy can kill him. Whoa! Regiment Guard is awesome, especially early on.
What a waste.
15 damage to stand up. Both of them are fully healed.
Could be worse. And will
could.
be at last.
Oh, down.
They go down.
I think one of them is still. Yeah, that pup is still down.
Smear them.
Consider provoked.
Oops. I meant to do that. Anyway, I would have missed. Out of spells. There we go. Enhancement worked.
I'll split you in half.
29 damage we did in 1 turn. 28 damage. Wow, that is Scorching Ray is nice. I think an Acid Arrow is just as good, but I think Scorching Ray is better.
Hear me.
Bring it.
Oh, sorry. was lost in thought.
Pashani Savitur. Magritium Turinos.
Oh, nice heal.
Magritium Turinos.
I heal myself.
Turinos.
Then he'll heal back real.
Magritium Turinos.
I used what healing he could on Jathal. No poison in here.
Magritium Turinos.
Speak.
Yeah, and all Jathal has left is a Carry Moderate.
Savitur.
Almost half health. Still, yeah, they don't carry anything, but let's get a bunch of them. Bunch of wolves.
How much longer, I wonder?
Pile of bones. So there is leather armor, scroll of bane, 7 bloodstones, 4 more wolf pelts, and a scythe. 2-hand scythe. The scythe plus 1. I'm pretty sure that's what Jathal already uses. Oh, hers is a masterwork. Oh, this is a magical scythe. Same to hit bonus, but plus 1 to damage. That's nice. Plus it counts as magical for resistance. Though I don't know very many things that can only be hurt with magical in this game. And Ghost later on, but by then we should have magical weapons.
Will this ever end?
So, that's pretty nice. I think that was worth coming here. But I think we're going to have to rest. Not because we're tired, just because we are very hurt. And we need our spells back. Okay.
Who will remember me when I die, huh? Who's going to cry? Just my Octavia. Or would she?
I don't know, Redengar. She probably would cry for you. Valerie. Don't even have Valerie with us right now. Alright, so let's see what we can do with the Stag Lord. Based on science, this is not going to be an easy fight. Probably pick up a bunch of his minions because we don't want to be fighting them at the same time as him. So there's a big warning bell in the middle of this fortress. You basically, every time you get in a little skirmish, the last person standing will run to ring the bell. You have to stop them, or it's going to be bad. Basically, it puts everybody on alert and you have to fight everybody. Regengar sizes up the Stag Lord's his fort from afar, and then looks at you and shakes his head with a smirk. Well, we're here. A handful of lunatics are about to assault a whole fortress stuffed with bandits armed to the teeth. Those have been keeping the entire region under their boot. Truth be told, I wouldn't bet a copper bit on us right now. Had to be a complete psycho to do this. So, damn right I'm with you. What if somehow make it out? But if we somehow make it alive, I'll smother you with kisses. Yeah, I'm actually trying to hit on Octavia, your girlfriend. Sorry. I'm glad I was wrong about you. Onward to victory. Smother me with kisses. I might just hold you to that. Like your enthusiasm, let's cut out the inappropriate advances. Say that one more time and you'll get a punch in the face. Okay, that sounds like us. I'm sorry. Hey, easy. I was only joking. Haha. You want to punch someone? Punch the Stag Lord's bandits. So, Regengar and Octavia, you can romance either one of them if you're male or female. Valerie only goes for men, and Christian is the other one. Only goes for women. But both of these are bi. I don't know how it works to do one over the other. I have actually never romanced Regigar. I always play straight male characters because I am a straight male guy. So it tends to work that way for me. But I'm not exactly sure how to do it. One thing... What was I... Oh, it is. Can't think of it. I want to say something. How? I'm blank. But yeah, this game sometimes flips your gender for a weird reason. At least in the last chapter. Because in the last chapter, it actually says in the name of the chapter. And mine said I was a queen when I was a guy. I don't know why I did that. It was sort of funny. But then they kept referring to me as king in the chapter. So it's just, I guess it's just a flag set wrong in a couple spots. I don't know if that's what happens just there, or if I've said something to make Regigar think I was interested. It's pretty good at reminding myself. There's a lot of flags in it. Thylacines are pretty good. Not too worried about these guys.
This is for you.
Out of my way!
Oh yeah, we turned around, so I put my frontliners right in the back.
Tear them apart!
Mary's just good anywhere. Just don't worry. Like coming out of this battle with too much to have to worry about.
Become as dust.
Because honestly, we have much bigger fish to fry here. Ooh, wow. That was messy.
I'll fight if I have to.
Yeah, 1 damage. We came into that fight, 1 damage. So this is the actual very front door. You can walk right in the front door. Not going to. Other way to go. Searching there might be stuff laying around in different spots.
I am prepared to meet my...
So there's a whole bunch of zombies up around this side. It's sort of funny. In the adventure path again. Yeah, what's that? They're staggered? Permanently staggered, really? I wonder why. Bit funny. Oh, she never got healed. Watch that.
Wretched things. You can't stop me.
But in the adventure path, it actually explains why there's a whole bunch of undead outside. Basically, Staglord dumps all his victims outside, and there's a lot of curses in this land. So it's actually created a curse where his victims are just stuck there. Yeah, pretty cruel. Oh, of course, zombie spotted us.
Repent.
Not exactly worried, honestly. They're just regular birdies. Regular zombies, they're not very strong. Oh, I think more just found us.
Smear them.
Okay. Jthal is going to healing potion. Wow. We got her more healing. Three damage. And that dice was sarcastic. She really should be aiming for people that aren't next to someone because she gets a penalty to them. Getting used to getting her precise shot pretty quickly. Okay. Get everybody to the +1 while they're in the circle.
Fear me.
Oh, 5 damage.
I'll split you in half.
I didn't move last turn, right? So she's closer. I think I might not. I might have forgot.
This is for you!
Wonder, does that count? It's a charge in between the two people. Nah, it's blocked.
Your life ebbs low.
I'll cut you.
Alright, just checking something. 1 sec. Okay. Make sure the stream's running well. Hopefully you can all see it well. Can I not hit them? Oh wait, did I just attack? Oh yeah, I just attacked. Sorry, got distracted. Oh? I coughed from that hit. There. See, that's not a hit. That's a hit.
Despicable.
Ooh, crit 49 damage. See, that times 4 crit is nasty.
Ask.
What a big heal. Mostly what her spells are for, especially this. Yeah, another snake. Not our familiar.
Let's give them what they deserve.
Oh, that one's got a shield. Not all just zombies. Some of them are zombie lords. They'll have a scimitar and a shield.
Die for me.
A lot of them up here.
I'll fight if I have
Oh.
to.
Don't like where. Ooh, ooh. Not like that.
I don't like you.
Boom.
What a waste.
0 damage. Yeah, it's a bludgeoning weapon. Zombie. Stun.
Advance.
Zombie lords are much more dangerous. They do more damage. They move a little faster.
Bring it.
What? She froze for some reason. They also don't seem to be staggered for some reason. All the regular zombies are.
Bleed for me.
Not gonna waste spells on these guys. Okay. She's backing up. Yep, so she doesn't draw any attacks.
You can't stop me.
Oh, I should have went for one of the other ones. A nice sneak attack like that.
Smear them.
Hey. Well, he can do more than just channel positive energy. He can channel negative energy. Damage undead. Ow.
Unworldly.
Oh yeah, I forgot. His channel negative energy hurts J-Thal. Probably worth it. I'm forgetting that happens. Oh, more coming. No, this isn't bad. This is the easy part of this fight. Not these guys. Weak compared to everything else around. Is it only zombies left? No zombie lords?
Consider me provoked.
I'll split you in half.
Aaron spotted something. Nice. Okay, clean up.
I'll cut you.
All. There we go.
This is for
Finish him.
you.
Reg. Seriously? I have 1 hit point left.
Out of my way.
I don't know why that sound doesn't happen half the time he uses his weapon.
Become
Weird.
as dust.
Wretched things.
8 damage. Nasty. I'm not wasting a Miri on him. I can't. It just can't justify wasting a Miri on. I got 1. Oh. There was more down there. I thought we had got them all. Oops.
I'll fight if I have to.
Okay, that's not working. Octavia's gonna run away. Oh, poor Miri. There's a lot of zombie lords down there too, it looks like. Maybe only 1 more. Maybe the rest are all zombies. There's something there. Ooh, there's something behind over here. Look at that. Oh, that's what Aaron found. I don't think. Yeah, target living creature. Figured that. One person only works on humanoids, which I bet are no good. Oops. Well, he shouldn't miss next turn because true strike. Turn. Again, if he couldn't do anything, probably won't do any damage. Oh, 2 more. Or, nope. Same amount. Not sure if I'm getting more or if it's just... There we go. Oh, time. Right, Vingar. Let's see.
You can't stop me.
Go for it. Yep, but he missed.
Repent.
Oh, wow, it worked. True strike worked. Wasn't a waste.
Despicable.
And how many of them are there? It was like low health. In the mirror after the big ones. He runs.
Consider me provoked.
Probably shouldn't do that because actually, I think they sneak attack when they're by themselves, not after the first. Charge down here. Cardinal, yes. 4 damage, not bad. Could be better, but not bad.
Advance.
It's the only one using a bludgeoned weapon instead of slashing. Well, actually, no. Technically, we are. That Earth Blast is actually a bludgeoned weapon. But we do pretty decent damage with it. Okay, now this guy can be snuck in. Yep, 10 damage to sneak attack.
I'll split you in half.
Your life ebbs low.
Unworthy. Tear them apart.
Nice. All right. Ooh, 700 gold on that. This one. Trinkets. Carrying something. Heavy pick +1. Ancient ruins with signs of more recent but likewise destroyed buildings. It seems that someone tried to settle here before the bandits. £15 for 5 gold. £4 for 100 gold. Leave the shields, I think. Ooh. Aldam Warriors dog tag. Another Aldam Warriors dog tag. Worth a good bit. Maybe sell them through.
Rotus awaits us.
Okay.
State your desire. Tashani Saviku.
Okay. We're doing pretty good. I'm gonna save here. Now, a DC at 20 athletics check to broaden the passage by force, or a DC 20 mobility check to climb over the wall. This will alert people. This one. Ow. One try. So.
Easy as murder.
Okay, apparently I should have done that one first. Alright, everybody got a heal from that failed attempt.
Request. Tashani Saviku.
Okay. Food. Akros Innsmart. Akros Innsmart, we have company. A tall, broad-shouldered man with a prematurely graying hair stares at you, but he doesn't attack. You must be the Rostovic envoy I've heard so much about. I don't suppose I could just ask you to leave the fort in peace, in the name of Erastil or whatever deity you swear by. Otherwise, let's just get this over with. He raises his sword, watching you carefully. Who are you? Akros Ismort, the Stag Lord's right hand. So are we going to stand here exchanging pleasantries, or will we go back behind the wall? Or better yet, back to Reston? So Akros is a pretty sick of what's going on here, and if you're lawful, you can actually convince him to stand down. Just by being lawful. But neutral good would be help me get rid of the Stag Lord. Or not good. Neutral, leave Stag Lord and get out. I won't follow you. But I came to fight, not talk. That's the spirit. Oh, hey, Longo. It's going pretty good. Great to see you again. We're just getting up to the Stag Lord. Bandit we were sent to the lands to kill. How's things going with you? So that's the spirit. What would we even talk about with these bandits? Let's just chop off their heads. Conversations. I love Red. Let's go back to business.
Made of.
Uh-oh. Oh, crap. It's not just Akros. Bandit Brawler. Bandit Alchemist. Bandit Bard. Bandit Akros. Huh. Gonna try something. He saved the... Didn't stagger him. 13 cold damage. Jathal is going to go right up to him. Can I do charge in a surprise round? No. Everybody else is going to go right.
I'll fight if I have to.
How is this not a sneak attack?
things.
Ooh, dodge.
Inimos travi.
Ooh, cat's grace. That increases his dexterity. Can't seem to hit him. Could be an issue. Ow! 12 damage to Miri before we even started. Right, get rid of that bard. Huh. Good that you're having a relaxing evening. Enjoy the evening. Yeah, this is pretty interesting what happened.
They go down!
Oh, come on! A critical miss. Oh, we are going to die. That's what's going to happen next. Oh! Oh! Oh, this is not going good. Not at all going the way I hoped. We need a bless. Yeah, I'm going to have a pretty relaxing evening. I think so. Playing this now, and why am I not getting sneak attacks on Acros? That is really ticking me off. Where is Acros? I can't find him up here. Acros. Acid arrow, so it does more damage next turn. Perfect. Oh, he has danger sense. Pretty sure that's what's doing. Only thing I could figure. I was saying something. You? Now I completely me off. Oh, 26 damage. Oh. No, I think I'm gonna have a pretty relaxing evening. I'm playing this, and then I'm getting together with Ronfire after to play some Among Us.
Despicable.
That's a lot of fun in the evening. What are you up to tonight, other than have just a relaxing time? Do anything interesting today?
I don't like you!
Oh, he got Amiri.
Won't kill me.
Oh, we are so dead. Okay, that worked. Wow. That's a big crit. We just did 53 damage with a crit. Okay. That's why he's my heavy hitter now. Okay. Huh. Hold that guy. Okay, we're going after the guy who did the hideous laughter. Can't reach anybody. Like, give out my bow. Oop. Okay, fists. Okay, if I can't reach anybody, then attack the held guy. There we go, some sneak. Okay.
Advance.
There we go, 7 damage to him.
Smear them.
I'm all right.
Yeah, you sound alright. Okay, Reg is going after that. Does 30 damage to him and he's still standing. Okay. Oh, it's a Miri. Okay. They're just gonna stand up. Does she have any potions? Cure moderate wounds.
What a waste.
Okay. Oh, miss.
I'll survive.
Oh,
I always survive.
oh, he broke the old person. Okay, why am I not using this since I get hit? There we go, 9 damage.
Weak suck.
Still have not hit this guy myself. Should have reduced my size. Ooh. Angled.
I'll cut you.
I can't move. Mirror image me.
Assist me or lose me.
Yeah, it looks like I'm going to lose you. I don't want to, but it looks like I'm going to.
Become as
Harem versus Barbarian. Yeah, this goes.
You can't stop me.
Nope, apparently I can't. Yep, this is not good. Ow.
Wretched things.
Critical miss.
Death comes. Out of my way.
Why can I not hit this guy? His armor class is 18. I need to roll him 11. It shouldn't be impossible to hit this guy.
Die for me.
This won't be over.
Oh, Jathal's down.
repent.
Ouch. There, color sprayed him. What a waste of a color spray. I think I'm still up. 'Cause I'm a orc.
I don't like you.
Oh, but I can't hit you either. Yeah, we're still up because we're an orc. Killed him.
Your life ebbs low.
Consider me provoked.
I'll sneak attack him.
Smear them.
Oh, this is not good. Yeah, Reg falls over. You killed that guy, but then he fell over.
What a waste.
This is for you.
Aria's doing this on her own. Do so much damage he does to me. There we go. Finally did some damage. 14.
I won't go down this easy.
Why did I bother using that? Nothing.
Dust.
Okay, killed him. Alright. Can't reach him. Can't reach him. Can't reach him either. Boost Harem's ability for next turn.
Out of my way!
Extra 11 damage before I collapse.
Repent.
That did nothing. Got him with a snowball. Yes, I killed the second in command of the Stag Lord with a snowball. But man, that did not go.
Follow
+1 bastard sword.
or don't.
So if we still had Valerie with us, I have a weapon for her. There's more like right there. We're going to back up again. We are going to rest. And we're going to try and not separate ourselves as badly next time. Yeah, this time we don't have to use rations here. Basically counts as a
The fierceness of orcs is famous all over the world. But you, Ragonga, you are only half orc. How is it that you have so much animal rage?
What I lacked at birth, the slaver's lashes more than made up for.
So Ragunga. That seems to be the definitive way to say it. Okay, it's nighttime. Okay, not everybody even... We didn't even get fully healed. We ran out of spells to heal.
Yes, I'm still here.
Come on. Yeah, that's not too bad.
You have my attention. Tashani Savitu.
Patience.
Magritium Turinos.
Get that very last bit ready. Save. Let's go around the front. Because somebody over here I want to beat. They get worse. Ooh, not bad. Some of the goods are stained with blood. It's not hard to guess the sad fate of their. So things people stole off people. So this is the bell they run to, if you really want. Bandit, bandit, and bandit. So one is the bow, the other two are just regular.
I don't like you!
Hey, what do you say? Yeah, I know your face. You're the Eldori envoy who killed Haps fellows at the trading post. Oh, we killed their friends. Aw, poor babies. Yep. Less. Less lasts a while, so I don't mind casting it pretty much at the beginning of every battle if I don't already have it. Like standing right in front of the archers too. Oh, that was Octavia's. So I'm like, how can Red shoot from that far away? Okay. Oh, that's not bad. She did good damage. Now it's Reg. Okay. You can't reach them. Reach this guy? Yes. Good. Miri's gonna go for this guy too. Everybody can reach him, so. Wow, how much health do these bandits have? Dead. One will get an attack. And he missed, and he got hit for 11 damage. That's the way that works.
Your life ebbs low.
Despicable.
You can't stop me.
Fear me.
Okay, he had no health, and he just took 8 and nothing happened. I'm gonna Miri keep doing that.
I'll split you.
There we go. That fight wasn't so bad. Some more over here.
Stretch me muscles.
This one has an alchemist, I believe. You can see him. Brawler. Oh, that is the alchemist, right in front of us. Okay. Nope, can't reach. Okay. She was too far away from her. Oh, because it's a surprise round. Of course, can't reach. Oh, there's the brawler. Yeah, and there's also a fighter. Regular. Yeah, we're gonna go this way. Put Reg right next to the alchemist. Let's go up there. Okay. Well, get a sneak attack on him. If I hit. That's Grace, of course. Now he's harder to hit. Ooh, 26 damage. Nice. Ooh, 13. Not so nice.
Advance.
Well, Alchemist is dead. Wow, they're really focusing on Miri in this fight. Alright.
Tear them apart.
What a waste.
This is for you!
I don't like you.
Man, they're really focus firing. Miri.
Unworthy.
We have the not focus fire so that we don't end up with one left and the other one not. So they can just run away.
Die for me.
Oh, right.
Become as dust.
I'll fight if I have to.
Smear them.
Wretched things.
Alarm! One Stag Lord. See, this is the problem. Gotta make sure we get this chance to. There. Anything that's worth more in gold than it is in pounds or equal, we'll take. Till the end, we might grab everything if we're okay. Wow. So Miri took a beating. Lock this chest.
I did as you asked.
Thank you. Some ferocious wolves up there.
The entrails near.
Harem. What do you got for? No poison here, so I'll use the cure moderate wounds. Not going to use those. I might need that. Skip his divine favor. I don't know why I'm doing this instead of just using the potions that I have a ton of. But I only use potions if I have to. There we go. We are trying to alert these wolves. Oh wait, we already checked them. I don't want to check them again. Wolves can't alert. And they're not that tough.
Submit.
Not like this silence pack.
They go down.
We're way tougher than these. But they could catch us unaware. 4 damage.
Split you in half.
You can't stop me.
Sneak attack 11 damage.
Despicable.
Repent.
8 damage stretch. Like, they always seem to focus on one person every fight. Which I guess is smart. Spread out damage.
Ultimate way.
Unless you have a specific reason to do so.
Consider me provoked.
Advance.
Ooh! We leveled! That's gonna be helpful.
Will this ever end?
Price? Okay. Well, let's level up. Jathal first. What's her level? She now gets Bane. Basically can imbue one of her weapons with the Bane special ability as a swift action. It excels against certain foes. Oh, so she basically gives it the Bane property. Like Bane versus humans or Bane versus beasts. Ooh. With athletics, arcana, religion, perception, persuasion. Only really needs perception out of it. Okay, what does she do in camp? Unless we switched her off. Because both of those, that's handled by Octavia. Athletics handled by Regengard. Better at it. Religion's handled by Harem. He's better at it. Persuasion, I might need later, but I'm not too worried about it now. Just wondering, give a backup trickery person. Or boost her stealth. And then she can do our stealth in the camp. But I really like her on watch. Such good on watch. I'm gonna leave it for now. I can always respec later if I want to. She will take power attack, do more damage. Well, you know what? She might take combat casting instead. For a bonus to be able to cast spells up close in case she needs to heal herself in battle. She also, because of her persuasion, she's good with dazzling display. Otherwise, though I'm going to try and get her with Grudgeon's. What do I need for that? I think I need power attack. Grudgeon Smash. I can't pronounce this word, so I call it Grudgeon. But it's a Hornagun Smash. Use Persuasion 6 and Power Attack. Basically, she intimidates people when she hits them. So she needs Power Attack. So let's get that, and then she's ready. Get combat casting after. I normally, when I did my previous character, I did it with the Valerie, and it was awesome to have. Okay, Bone Shaker gives her a long distance attack. Okay, whole person's not. More holds, the better, honestly. Castigate actually works really good. Should use it in this fight. Move paralysis is nice. Protection of this from Blessing of Luck and Resolve. Morale bonus against fear effects. Not bad. Aid's actually really good. Attack rolls, fear effects, and gives temporary hit points. Yeah, let's kick Aid. What are we getting? Kineticist, but we get an infusion. So we're good with perception, evasion. We're going to take stealth. You know? Yeah, we'll take stealth. Boost up our stealth and do it. That's fine. And then maybe we'll be the ones to do camp camouflage. Fury's Fall. What's this? You use strength and agility to send post crash. When making trip attack, add your dexterity bonus. Okay, do that. You really want to focus. You can also get a weapon focus for kinetic. Oh, we already have that for kinetic blast. Ooh, that'd be nice too. You gotta try more often. That was sort of the whole point of this build. And I never do it. Yeah, let's do that. Okay, Bowling and Fusion. Element Earth. You bowl your foes over with the sheer mass of your kinetic blast. Attempt to trip, combat maneuver. It's each target damaged by your infused blast, using your Constitution modifier instead of your Strength modifier. Oh! That together with that Bowling and Fusion with Fury's Fall. Could be nice. To burn, which we do want something that will give us burn something. It gives us bonuses. Knocks foes backs. Crash can combat new. Against each target damaged by your infused blast using Constitution. Huh. Those are nice too. Push wheel back. And entangling. These are all combat maneuvers when you hit. Comes entangled. Okay. Try and trip them. Yeah, these ones we can't take. These are all infusions you could take if you weren't the Kinetic Knight. There's a lot of different things you can do. Kinetic Knight's more limited. But it's because we're using it up close. Still, it's cool. Fusion specialization. Oh. So we actually only, I think that's only going to cost us 1. We gain proficiency in light armor, though because we're earth element, we already have proficiency in heavy armor. Sense, but yeah, bowling.
Don't know, don't care.
Oh, it's active. It cost us burn? What doesn't cost us burn? So we still have no way to get burned. Oh well. We'll get it eventually. Barbarian again. Improved uncanny dodge. That's how Akros was doing it. He couldn't be flanked. Couldn't get sneak attack on him. Flanking. He had to remove his dexterity modifier somehow. Needed her lore nature up so she can keep hunting for us. Other than that, everything's good. Athletics and mobility. Point blank shot. She doesn't use ranged weapon. No sense. Not giving her heavier armor. Her speed that way. That's on display. She doesn't use. Die Hard is actually the exact same thing we just saw happen with our 2 orcs, where they lasted 1 more turn after they were down. Extra rage power. That could be useful. Faster, renewed vigor. Renewed vigor actually doesn't give enough health. Like even when it's at like higher amounts, it's not a huge. Dodge bonus to AC is not bad. Initiative to go faster. Persuasive. She doesn't have power attack. Oh, she needs power attack to do more damage. I don't know why I didn't recommend power. Yeah, I thought she had that. Yeah, she's taking that. Trade accuracy for damage. Sticking it at this Magus. Oh, he gets a bonus feat. Arcane weapon goes up to +2. And resist energy is his new spell. His new dragon spell. He's another one we might go Court against Smash. So real persuasion. We're probably going to give him power attack as well. Now, don't do Arcane Strike if you're using Mag. Arcane Strike's not that great anyway, but definitely don't do it if you're using a Magus, because it sort of defeats the point. Power attack. Ooh, Cleave. Do single attack, full attack bonus against a foe within reach. You hit, you deal damage normally, make additional attacks against foe that's adjacent to it. I can use meta magics, but I'm not really there yet. No penetration. I don't know if I want to cleave with him. Blind fighting's not bad. I think you're gonna get blinded much. I think we will go. What's this one? Your strength modifier to your persuasion skill when used to intimidate. Oh yeah, that's really good if you're gonna go quarters too. Do precise strike. Jthal has it too, just extra precision. I already have one, but it's not recommended. Well, I'm wondering, maybe take power attack as this one. That's not. I'm not actually going to do blind fight. I can take power attack here. I have more choices in my main feat than my Magus feat, which has to be a fight or a wizard feat. I was thinking, like toughness, health. Yeah, I think we'll do that. Okay, get another level 2 spell. Has this touch spell for damage. Standard mirror image is not bad. Blur is not bad. That is actually hefty. Don't need Scorching Ray with him. Effortless armor. Doesn't reduce your speed. Might be useful later. It's actually not that useful yet. Visibility is nice. Oh, this shouldn't be that hard. Let's grab Invisibility. We have nobody that can cast it yet. Now we can get these different arcane weapon abilities. Here I'm just gonna keep going Cleric. Be a Cleric. Keep going Religion and Persuasion and Perception. Okay, now he has Conjuration Spell Focus. Augments summoning. His summons will get more power. Now I actually have to make sure he memorizes some summoning spells. Animate Dead. He is our only memorized spellcaster, I believe, other than Octavia. So we'll do their memorization as soon as I finish leveling. Evil and Wizard, we're not to Arcane Trickster yet. Mobility. So that'll be this turn. There. Wait, is this level? What level are we? 4. Yeah, so we can only just go to. She could have become an Arcane Trickster. Last level if I had kept her mobility up. Oops. Three. Oh well. She knows she's gonna get wizard levels later anyway, so she'll just keep her wizard up. We'll go Arcane Trickster next level. Keep her Arcana up. Her knowledge world, she's our cloak level. Precise shot. She needs precise shots so she can hit things with her spells. She gets 2 spells. So she already has full strength. Web. Cat's Grace, maybe? Hideous Laughter's not bad. Well, you know what? She might go Hideous Laughter. It's another spell that puts somebody out of commission. Human, anyway. Let's do that. So we should take here. Probably Mage Armor. I think it is in a way. Harem. He only gets his level 3. Dispel Magic is nice. They take a prayer. Summon Monster 3 has that ability. One of these should be a summon spell. So now that we got 3, you probably won't do that. Not going to do that until we rest. We're hopefully only going to have to rest one more time before the Stag Lord. But we're going to do this now. Do this stuff. Bandits wanted to build heavily fortifications.
How much longer, I wonder?
Move the boxes. 4 hours to move the boxes. None of us are tired. So Slave +1.
Done and done.
Cloak of Resistance +1. Who doesn't have a Cloak of Resistance yet? Oh, I do. Most of us don't. Let's put it on Jathal since she tends to be up front a lot. I just realized I'm not wearing my armor anymore. Put that back on. Slave. Is it better? Do less damage.
Don't give that to me.
Oh. Actually, she'd hit a little more often. Just barely, though. Not worth it for the amount of damage. Though a glaive does give her reach. So she can reach around people. I don't think we need it. These guys, you're on the minutes of. That's right. Oh, yeah. A sloppy coral for some big animal. An owl bear in there.
Not that I can.
Face me if
Great.
you dare.
Oh, no. I saw him there. I was hoping we could get around. It's a lot of different guys here. They're all up here. Okay, so let's focus this way, so that they gotta run this way. Even Octavia well. Okay. The color spray is not gonna be close enough. No, I didn't think so. Let's see who she can hit with it. It's here.
This
Go for the
is
illusionist.
you.
Oops. Use my bow.
I'll fight if I have to.
Yeah, now you're just standing there. Back up a bit. We're that close. Yeah, Miri's gonna go for it. Miri's gonna go run for that spell. Can't get around. Ooh! Crit! Okay.
I'll cut you.
Actually did. Jathal's immune, and Amiri succeeded in their save. And I think you missed Reg, so that just sucked. That's what I was worrying about, was that illusionist. That's what he's gonna do? Awesome.
You can't stop me.
Nope. Not gonna try. Ooh, can't believe I missed that. Did a crit. 8 damage with a crit, though. That's great. 8 damage. Add the frost property to weapon. Keen shock. And keen and shocking. But now when I use that, it's going to take like 3 points instead of 1. So only save it for really big hits. Now later on, you can change it to instead of lasting for 1 round, it's 1 minute. And then that's pretty good.
I don't like you.
Your life
Tell.
ebbs low.
Consider me provoked.
Shouldn't try tripping them, even though now I'm supposed to trip when I hit.
Wretched thing.
I never hit.
Yeah. Tear them apart.
Alarm! Warn the Stag Lord.
Bleed for me. Send me what your entrails look like.
See, now that worked. That was... I don't think you noticed if... Yeah. So there's the thing. I hit him, did 17 damage, but then I tried to trip. Because I tripped, both attacked, did 12 damage and 21 damage. So, like, that is the whole thing with the spell. That's what we're supposed to be doing. Now, that was just perfect. Okay. This actually, other than that first fight with Akros, this is going very well. Alright, Cage Owlbear seems to be worried. Growls softly as you approach. It looks strong enough to break the cage's doors. So we can open it, but if you don't do something first, it'll just attack you. You can bar it so it can't get out. You can try and kill it silently, or try and calm it. If you calm it, it will actually join your sides, like during the fight. If all goes well, sometimes it doesn't move for some reason. That's opposed to joining the fight, because it'll side with you over the Stag. Let's try and do it. It seems to have endured some sort of abuse recently, probably at the hands of a certain druid. Scared, angry, and wants to take revenge on its offenders. Seems to understand that you're not one of them and probably won't attack you. Probably. Well, the owlbear caught by the bandits is no longer a threat. Got 48 days. And what's his skill stag one? I don't know where that one was. Is it giving a list? Oh, no. The things you do. Some places they'll give you a list of things to do. I wonder. Okay, let's check it out. I was thinking that was Octavia right in front. I'm like, that's not a mistake. Bandit. Bandit. I don't know what this one is. Okay, we're not. Oh, Bandit Cleric. That one. Okay, Octavia, you know who to shoot. You reach that far? Yep. 24 damage. Bandit Cleric is dead. Ow. Okay, charge him. Hey, it tripped. Tripped him too. Awesome. Oh, he stood up. I can't do an attack of opportunity with my blast, unfortunately, so it takes combination of people. Starting to get enough spells they're showing up on the side. Yeah, reach. I go 19 feet, 1 foot short, try what I can. Bless us all. I'm using my ring, so it's not even taking spell slots. Could hit him with a. Oh, wait on that. You gotta go behind me. Don't get over here too close, folks. There's another. Yeah, there they are. Ox. There's a Dovin over here. We want to fight them separately. They're actually tough. It's a big enough fight going. It's one of my
Despicable.
things to help her kid. Okay. Let's go for Archer. Oh yeah. Not getting sneak attack anymore, so that was sort of useless. Oh, that's gonna work well. He does damage, they fall. Plus there's guys next to him. Oops, I should have moved. Do I need any healing? I think I'm okay. Actually, she could probably use healing. There we go. Ooh, nice hit. 24 damage.
Advance!
Ooh, missed.
Out of my way!
I'm liking it. Liking his tripping ability.
What a waste.
I'll cut you!
Unworthy.
Alarm! Warn the Stag Lord. That ain't gonna happen.
This is for you!
He went to run away. Alright. Aram, use your ability.
Sorry.
Last one.
Thought.
Yep. And you still got a couple of these.
Savi.
Yeah, this is going pretty good. I am very happy where we are.
What's
I'm
over
curious.
there? Nah, I don't want to know.
Running won't help you!
Blood, sweet, bright blood. I haven't gotten to kill anyone today. Blood, sweet, bright blood. I haven't gotten to kill anyone today. Sad. So yeah, Dovin is a complete psychopath. And Ox is, something with a childlike mind that Dovin just is taking real advantage of. Sad, but you have to kill him because otherwise he won't kill you. Castigate Dovin. Oh, he succeeded. Oh well. At least we tried. Go for Ox. Who missed? He goes for a potion of invisibility. I hate that. I don't think I can reach, but close to reaching. Ready for next turn. Let's see. You guys are tough.
Bring it!
Should not attack. I walked into him, and it worked. I did not know that would work.
I don't like you.
Oh! Took 27 damage for trying to drink a potion of bark skin. Nice. Go for the invisible guy. Yeah, concealment. 50% concealment on that, so not surprised. We'll go for it anyway. Yes, 32 damage. I have no sneak attack. That's just damage from the snowball. Nice. Cat's Grace. Yeah, we're going for Dovin with the big one. There we go. 30 damage to Ox. Bone Shaker Dovin. Because I don't think you can be concealed from that. It's just a saving throw. Succeeded, so he only took 10 damage. No, not bad. There we go. Yeah, missed.
Despicable.
We got a few guys here, so.
I'll fight if I have to.
Another potion. Potion of haste.
Bleed for me.
They go down!
We can't hit him, unfortunately.
I'll split you in half!
Bane.
Advance.
Those give him a better chance to hit. But then, of course, critical miss, so. Telekinetic Fist. It worked! Got him with a telekinetic fist. Awesome. Some Dovin from Nizrock. Stop! Listen, we can make a deal. You've probably heard things about me, but I'm a reasonable man. Not some insane murderer. You let me go, I'll leave these lands. In exchange for my life. I'll point you toward the cache holding my share of the loot. Dovin of Nizrak always keeps his word. I like you better dead or deal. Break your promise and I'll make you regret. Even if I have to claw my way out of the abyss to do so. You know what? I don't much care if he kills people. I don't care if he is an insane murderer. He's offering me something I want. Yeah, let's go for it. Catch his breath. I always knew mixing with this lot would do me no good. The cache is in a ditch to the left of the gate. Farewell. It's nice to deal with someone who understands how to look out for themselves.
I'm not touching that.
I could keep fighting.
I did as you asked.
2 bandit commanders, Ox and Dovin, are a threat no longer. Wonder if we had killed Dovin first, he wouldn't have, if he would have took Ox with him. I didn't know you could do that, honestly. He has a toy dragon and a toy knight. So he still has a childlike mind.
Follow me! Or don't.
Okay, we're gonna go to the ditch first. I think the only thing left up here is the actual, Stag Lord. That's a bandit. He's dead. It just, sometimes those, tags will glitch and stay up for some reason. Open the gate now. It's probably here. There it is, right there. +1 buckler and a +1 fauchard. So I don't have anybody that uses a fauchard because they're exotic weapon. A buckler. I don't have anybody who uses shields either, other than Harem. Lindsay can use a buckler. That's not as good. Can't use it. It's actually pretty useless, but I guess it's money. Reason I'm in here. You pick. How does it compare? 1 point less damage on top or on bottom, but it does a way better crit. And it's enchanted. Could be using that instead. Pick. Not very cleric-like, but it works. And one more thing. Found it. We found something else. Oh yeah. Belt of Constitution. She has no Constitution score. Need extra dexterity. She's taking the strength. We use some health. Yeah, we'll give it to Edge. Some more health. Okay, so we're actually going to rest one more time. We don't necessarily have to. We're doing okay. Stag Lord's pretty tough fight, so we're going to go for it. Though, if I don't remember if you were here when because of the glitch, but we poisoned his wine. So that gives him a little bit of negative.
What will your end of times look like, Harem? You'll hardly live to see it, and I'd like to know what to prepare for.
So much arrogance in your words, so much smugness. Do you wish to live forever? Grotus laughs at your plans, for they might be cut short in a day, in an hour, or the very next moment.
Yeah, God of the End Times. Interesting thing to follow. So come on, let's do this. We can take this Stag Lord.
Who will prevail? Does it matter?
Alarm! Alarm! Call the Stag Lord.
something up.
And yet he keeps drinking it. But he automatically appears up there, unfortunately.
Give them what they deserve.
Mine. I won't let you take them from me.
So we have to go around to get him. But there's lots of others, so let's see what we can do here. So she is definitely. Now, I'm not sure this Bane. Yeah, so we're gonna put Bane on. So there's a swift action. Do one swift action per turn. Who's here? Bandit, wolves, and it. I'm gonna castigate that cleric. Yes, it worked. Okay. Let's web everybody here. Let's see the best way to do this. I think I... I'm in Monster 3. I'm gonna monitor room. Oh yeah, it takes 4 rounds. He will be doing that first thing next round. Oh, he should have blessed everybody. Everybody's losing their turns. Awesome. Comes the Owlbear. It's on our side. Wow, I don't think this could have went any better. Scorching Ray on the Stag Lord. Sneak attack 18. He got back skin. Gotta run all the way around, unfortunately. Ooh, he has the third ability of the Flesh of Stone, so he should be using that. He's going to go with Regingar. 2 of them are going to take care of the Stag. Everybody else is going to focus down here. Oh, great. She walked into the web. Over here a little bit. Hopefully I can get everybody. Yes, I get the bad guys too. So they all get negative for it. Healing didn't really help you with this. Well, they fixed his portrait up here. That used to not work. Or maybe it was just mine glitched out. I think next turn I'll be able to attack him. Oh, she should be raging. Oh well. Hold. I hold in the Stag Lord. I doubt it'll work. Can't move. Ooh! Owlbear took out the fighter.
Despicable.
Oh. I was hoping that wouldn't work. We got reduced. Oh, Aspect of the Falcon failed. And not quite gonna reach. Didn't think so. Next turn's gonna be interesting. Finally gonna reach. Alright. 19 failed. Saving throw. Awesome. They thought I can get out of there. I think that still staggers him. Not sure. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my Arcane Bond, get back another Scorching Ray, and then put that. 15 damage. Not bad. Almost at half damage. Hasn't managed to do too much. Back here. What? Why didn't you attack?
I'll cut you.
Yeah, I only moved 1 foot and he froze. Suck.
Out of my way!
They go down!
Yeah, the web seems to be working against me at this point. Oh yeah. Summon. Oh. The lizard's down here. Oh, there goes the wolf.
I can't. Oh, after so long, I learned to stand.
Clutches something resembling a charm in his bloody fingers, seemingly placing the last of his hope into it. You hear a snapping sound, and then a dull sigh bursts from the Stag Lord's chest. Well, we're chaotic evil, so spit on the Stag Lord. Ha! What a wimp. I have no idea why everyone was so scared of him.
Sometimes I wonder that myself. Was it my own doing or her blessing?
There we go. Finish the Stag Lord. A bunch of stuff from him. His helmet. Okay. So we're overloaded. This is coming to the end of the stream tonight, so we'll actually go through this stuff next week. Find out what the new stuff is. We'll also check out the Stag Lord's Fort, because we actually haven't gone inside. And then bring the nose back to Oleg. So yeah, we're looking forward to that. Thanks so much for joining me on stream tonight. Really appreciate it. Let's see. First, let's save. Thank you very much for coming along on my journey tonight. Just looking at something. If you're up for it, I'd actually like to do, before we end, just going to do a raid, actually. Only have one person with us. But I'd like to raid channel. Trying to get better at doing this. So if you stick away with me, give me a second. I'll get the command right. Okay. Okay. So in 9 seconds, we'll head over there, and that'll end our stream for tonight. So thanks so much for coming. And hope to see you next week. Thanks, Longo, for coming by.